What you are seeing on your screen right now is a new color, at least as best as it can be represented. It's called Olo, and thanks to a groundbreaking experiment, 5 people have now witnessed it. Joining me to talk more about how this happened and what it all means is Dan Riskin, CTV science and technology expert. Dan, good to speak with you.
Yeah, I feel bad because we show this color and we're like, see, it's a new color. And you're like, nah, I've seen that one. Like, I've seen that there's probably somebody's kitchen looks like that. But what it approximates really is something spectacular that only 5 people have ever experienced.
Yeah, that color, like I said, is just, you know, the closest we can get to it, because to actually see this new color, we would have to have lasers beamed into our eyes. Help me out here. What is going on?
Okay, so this is so cool. So when you see the world, if you have color vision and you're not, you don't have color deficiency like my brother does, most people have 3 different types of photoreceptors in their eye. They have blue ones, they have green ones, and they have red ones, and they sort of are tuned to those separate colors. And so as a result, depending on which cells get activated, you can tell if something's red because it lights up the red photoreceptors, or it's blue because it lights up the blue ones. And when something's green, it lights up the green ones, but because there's a distribution of colors that each one of these is sensitive to, anytime you're seeing green, yes, it lights up the green ones, but it's also lighting up the blue ones and the red ones a little bit. So you get a little bit of activity from all 3 anytime you get that green color. What they did in this experiment was to find a way to hit those green color receptors without the red ones or the blue ones. And that is something, I mean, if you show green to any other person, they're going to have all 3 types of cells light up. But what they did is they scanned the inside of the eyeball of these people and then found where the different color receptors were, and then shot only the ones that were set to green. They only hit those ones with the light. And so it was a laser light that was colored green. But what those people experienced was what happens when just the green receptors go off and the red ones and the blue ones do not go off. And that is something that never happens for a normal person.
And they did this with a new machine called the Oz. How did they pull this off?
Yeah, they called it Oz because remember in The Wizard of Oz, it's black and white, and then all of a sudden it's in color, and your mind is blown.
That's the reason behind it?
That's why they called it Oz. And the reason they called the new color Olo is because it's supposed to represent 0, 1, 0, which is that you're getting 0% of your blue photoreceptors, 100% of your green photoreceptors, and 0% of your red ones. So the percentage is 0, 1, 0 for the different photoreceptors. So anyway, the great namers of things. Like I'm giving them a full award for great names for things.
You know, Olo seems a very strange name, so I'm glad you did explain that, though.
Yeah, it's 0, 1, 0. Anyway, I'm obsessed with this. I really want to see it because the people who did it said it was like an incredibly vivid color they had never even imagined before. And it is hard. I was talking to my son about this. He's 13. He's an artsy kid. I was like, can you imagine a color that you've never seen? Like, it blows the mind, right? Like the idea that there is this whole palette that we can't get to with normal light that you can only get to by, scanning the inside of an eyeball and shooting it. So what happens if you do this with just the red photoreceptors? What happens if you do it with just the blue photoreceptors? Can you get other colors this way? Is there a whole sort of extra spectrum that we could experience? And then what do you do with that? And so there are applications, like you could help people who are color deficient, like my brother. Maybe this kind of technology can help give them color vision in the world, or maybe people who want to experience extra colors and to understand vision better. We can give people more color than humans have evolved with. But for now, it's just this really neat experience that only 5 people have gotten to do that I'm super jealous about. I'm more jealous of this than I am of Katy Perry going to space, and that's saying something.
You know, my producer, Will, who will be watching this intently, he was very interested to hear what you had to say, told me today he would give all the money in his bank account to be able to see Olo. I advised against that, but...
Bill, I don't know how much he has in his. Move it all to a different account first so that the bank account's got nothing left, and then, yeah, go for it. But yes, that is, I'm totally on the same page. What a neat idea to be able to see a color that no one has ever seen before. And in fact, they don't even call it a color. They call it a simulated color because what they're showing you is green. Like if anybody else looked at that light, they would see a green light. That's what it is a green light. But because they're tricking your brain, they're hitting certain photoreceptors and not others, your brain deals with an input, a 0, 1, 0, that it's it's never seen before, and then it comes up with a way of interpreting it. And so, does your Olo look the same as my Olo? We don't even know yet if your blue looks the same as my blue. So that's another really interesting question that this brings up, and I love it. I love this story. I love everything about it.
Just when you think you've seen it all, Olo makes the news. Dan, I knew you would help me understand this. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you. Enjoy Oz.
Yeah.